I'm here at Red Leaf Exotics, one of the world's leading carnivorous plant nurseries. They specialize in tropical pitcher plants, and it's spectacular. I can't wait to go inside. Let's go take a look. So we're inside the greenhouse here with Dominic at Red Leaf Exotics, a very well-known, world-known breeder of these pitcher plants. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I've been growing tropical pitcher plants my entire life, probably around 9 Venus flytraps and stuff, and they've always been with me, whether I was in an apartment, New York City, wherever, they always were on my windowsill. And then just 8 years ago in Brooklyn, I had an opportunity when I lived there to build a greenhouse, grow more of them than I've ever grown, and I turned it into a business and it exploded. And 8 years later, here we are. I have new updated greenhouses and I specialize in these, my favorite plants in the world, Nepenthes.
They are spectacular.
I love them. They're like artwork.
Yeah. This one is really fun and kind of fat in a fun way.
I love how fat it is.
Is there anything special about this one?
Yeah, so this particular carnivorous plant here is one of my favorite in my collection and one I've had for many years. I'll say famous or well known for it. It's called Nepenthes veitchii candy dreams. And this species is endemic to the island of Borneo, right above Australia. And they're very rare in the wild, almost endangered. A lot of people poach them and stuff. You probably won't even see these striped types in the wild anymore. But I've had this plant for many years, and once it started maturing and getting these beautiful colors in big round vases, I call them, a lot of people gained interest and wanted cuttings. And now today I breed a lot of my genetics. My staple plants are bred with this, so it really is like the image of my nursery for the carnivorous plants.
Cool, wow. And to kind of go on a little, so these carnivorous plants, these pitchers hold water that then kind of create a juice that will kind of digest the insects that go in there. So that's just so fascinating.
I almost picture them like a stomach just on the end of a leaf. And there are digestive enzymes they produce even before they open, and they use scent, smell, color to lure insects and prey. They'll eat sugar and then they get a little drunk. It's intoxicating, won't do anything to us, but when they get a little intoxicated, they'll fall in drowned, and over the course of a few days it will digest them and use the nitrogen and the broken down matter to grow, just like fertilizer.
Yeah, that's just so fascinating. So the color and texture on these is quite spectacular also. It really drew me to come look at these. What's special about these?
I love the dark colored pitchers. You don't get a ton that are dark like this, but all of the plants that we're seeing up here in the front of the greenhouse are species. A lot of them are critically endangered. Some of them are functionally extinct, so they'll never be able to replicate in the wild. You can only see them in cultivation, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But a lot of these are just so slow growing, demanding. Like this plant is 10 years old and it's still a baby. These pitchers will get maybe this big, so you could see maybe another 10 years. They're very slow growing, a lot of time and patience. But that's what you're seeing up here, all species that would normally come from the wild or are found in the wild. But there are easier to grow ones and much faster growing ones than what I have up here.
Yeah. Well, let's go look at some of those.
Sure.
So these are the hybrids that we've got behind us right now?
Yeah, usually the hybrids, like in anything, are more vigorous, larger, more colorful. So you could kind of see that in here. They're a lot larger. And the rare dark one I showed you up front, you could see with breeding, you get something that's way bigger, kind of more dramatic, and way easier to grow.
Yeah.
Still, some of these hybrids are rare, but way easier to grow and possible than something like I showed you up front. A lot of growers today just have them on a windowsill or in like a grow tent, and they put a good quality grow light over them, and I feel like that gets them growing really nice. Just being patient. They don't really need the crazy humidity and stuff. You could hand mist, but good quality light is probably key to growing the best pitchers like these on them.
Yeah, this one's fun too because it kind of shows the evolution of the pitcher. It shows
they start like this,
evolving,
and then they open.
Yeah. That is fun.
They are fun.
Wow. So some of these look pretty huge. Like they could maybe even eat something bigger than an insect?
Yeah, I very commonly in the greenhouse have them eat mice. and I just had one eat its first bird.
Wow.
But once they get this size, they're definitely going to eat mice. Birds are really rare because I don't have them in the greenhouse. But the mice will come in and see all this glistening white sugar.
Yeah.
It literally is pure sugar. You can even taste it. Beautiful sweet sugar. It's so sweet.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, pure sugar. So the mice will come for that, if at all. I haven't had many in this new greenhouse because it's sealed up. But they'll come up, they'll drink that, and they'll fall in here, and you can feel that. It's like a plastic bottle.
Oh, it's like a glass bottle.
Yeah, it's so tough. They'll drown first, sadly, and then over the course of 2 weeks, they'll be completely disintegrated. And you'll see the big leaf jumps as if it was fertilized. And a little surprise for you guys. In this picture here, we actually caught a bird, and I'll show you how pitcher plant people show you what their plants ate. So I'm gonna use my forceps and go down in here, but just get ready for it. It might even smell. Oh my God, that is a bird. Or what's left of it. You could see some of the feathers and hair. I don't wanna make it smell, but usually when they're this big, this one's a little smaller, you could see how it's browning. It might have been a little too much for the plant to handle, but it's still gonna absorb it as long as this is green, and the next leaves and pitchers will just keep getting bigger because of the fertilizer or the little animal that died in there.
Yeah, wow, that really ups the ante for the term carnivorous plant.
Yeah, a lot of people will say, can they eat people, can they eat like cats? Not really, but I think it's impressive that they can eat a mouse, even sometimes rats or birds. We never thought that was possible, you know?
Sure,
and we're all used to little Venus flytraps, so they definitely are a little more monstrous than we give them credit for.
Yes, fascinating. So you talked about that you've gotten into breeding of these pitcher plants. So I assume these are kind of where we start. These are seed grown?
Yes, I'm actually one of the only nurseries in the world that only do seed grown. Most people do tissue culture today. To replicate, I only do seed grown. It's a lot more work. You need a lot more space to grow out, but the quality and genetics always shows through. So I love only doing from seed. And you could see in these pots, this is what they start as, just little tiny microgreens.
Yeah.
And then once you get to around 2 years, this is how long it could take from seed, you get something more like this.
Wow.
I am getting faster at it in this new greenhouse, but this is how I start the little seedlings. I'll pluck them out, put them in cell trays, and over the course of weeks and months, they just get bigger and bigger.
Sure.
And then I'm now at a place where instead of potting them up when I sell them, because I sell mostly smaller plants, more affordable with really good genetics now, I'll just pop them out, pot them up, and ship them on. I like to sell stuff at the smaller size now. It's just easier for me, the customer. I do sell bigger plants, but I like to try to stick to my new releases and genetics, and most people are so happy with that.
As far as the plants in general, if somebody was to want to have, just a common person to have one at home, what kind of care are we talking about with that?
Okay. I always like to keep the care super simple. I always say good quality water, rainwater, RO water, reverse osmosis. If you can't do that, they'll still probably grow well, but good quality light. I feel like even most windowsills just need an extra bump with a grow light, maybe 12 hours minimum if you want to really grow them to their best, and look beautiful. And then just hand misting, and maybe once a month, like a fish fertilizer sprayed on the leaves. You don't have to feed them bugs. You can fertilize carnivorous plants, but just spray the leaves and pitchers once a month with a quarter strength of most fertilizers work. And they will just keep producing pitchers and grow. They do take a few weeks, maybe months to settle, but once you have them settled and they are consistent in their care and temperature and light, they seem to do fine. They don't like being moved all over the house. They're not one of those plants, but I'd say light is super important, or they just kind of don't do much.
And consistency, that's what, because them being, are they epiphytes?
They're epiphytic, some are terrestrial, but a lot are epiphytes,
So essentially they're stuck where they are, so they want that consistent water, humidity, light. So this is so cool. The information has been great. How can people get in contact with you?
So my website is redleafexotics.com, and Instagram, Facebook is Red Leaf Exotics, but all the plants will be on the website, and if you have any questions, let us know.
As fun and as exciting as these are, and they may seem intimidating to you at home, you can grow these.
You can so do it.
You can.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
try something new.